back to our channel.
I'm Megan.
And I'm Ciera, and today we're going to be doing a back to school Q&A.
In the car.
Yeah, we're driving back from Clear Lake right now. We were planning on doing a weekend in our life kind of vlog, but the weather was pretty poor this weekend, and we didn't really do anything.
Nope, so you didn't miss out on anything.
Wouldn't have made for a very interesting vlog. So on Megan's Instagram, she asked you guys to ask us any back to school questions you have, or if you're looking for advice,
Like college or high school.
We're going to the best of our abilities, try and answer it. Alright, first question, how did you decide on your major? So Meg and I had a very clear idea of what we wanted to do when we entered college. I know that's really fortunate for us, since a lot of people don't know what they want to do. For us, we know we wanted to be physical therapists, and so it just made sense for us to major in human physiology. That's what most pre-health people, I feel like, major at our college. You can always go in undecided if you don't know what you want to do, and just get your gen eds out of the way. Those are just your random classes that you usually have to take.
Yeah, I would say we've talked about this a little bit before, and it helps like so much that we had a career that we were like focused on going in, because then it makes picking a major so much easier. Like there's going to be like slight differences here and there. Like we could have done exercise science, we could have done like a couple different ones that wouldn't be that different, and we just kind of decided on human physiology. One, because again it doesn't matter that much, and two, like, what was I gonna say? That's like the most common major that we found like at our university for pre-PT students. And I would say, I don't know, I don't want to just like throw everyone in this category, but like if you are doubting what you want to major in, like business is always a really good thing to go into, and you can use it for pretty much anything. Like you could major in entrepreneurship. I'm not even 100% sure if that's in the business school. I would assume it is, but it might not be. Yeah, I would say you just have to like know maybe what career you want to go into, and look like is college even required? First of all, like if you want to do real estate, you don't have to go to college for that. Like these are just examples, or like there's other options, but I'm guessing just kind of like just because it's like the thing that people do is go to college, make sure it like actually makes sense with like what you think your path is going to be in life. Yep. Okay, next one is first day of college tips. I'm screenshotting this because I thought it just brings me back to like my first day of college, and I probably said this before, but like Megan was in our dorm. Like my first class was at 8:30 a.m. It was my chem discussion, and Maggie actually like spent the night in our dorm that night because her school hadn't started yet and she was still in high school. And I like just got up, and like as I was walking to class, like my heart was racing because I was so scared. I was like, this is it, it's really starting. Like now it's like it really matters, and I was way too stressed for no reason. I sat in that class and I was like, this feels like I'm in high school. It really does start to feel like so normal. It's to the point now, this is going to be our third year of college, and I can't even honestly remember high school. Like thinking back to high school, like that seems weird to me now. Just know that your first day is going to be weird. Like you're going to probably be nervous. That's okay. And freshman year, you'll probably have a mix of like lecture classes and discussion classes. And if you're taking a class, sorry to interrupt you, if you're taking a class where there's a lot of freshmen, your professors know that, and they're going to kind of, I don't want to say ease you in, because like they won't really take it slow, but like the first day will not be too hectic. Yeah, the first day especially in most classes is going to be like pretty chill. Some people say like silly week, because like syllabus week, I would say it's more like silly day. Yeah. And then they like jump in, but the first week of classes is usually overall pretty chill. So try not to stress too much. They're not expecting you to like have all your books. They know some people are probably waiting. They're not expecting you to have like everything figured out for that class. So the first class is going to be there to kind of they don't usually even teach the first day. Yeah. It's usually just running over the syllabus and then you get to like leave once you're done, hopefully. Okay, next question is, do you have any advice for making a move-in day go smoothly? I would recommend kind of. We moved in pretty early, like I think one of the earliest days we could have moved in freshman year, and I don't regret doing that because it was definitely less busy than it would have been otherwise, so that makes for an easier move-in. There's only one elevator for us to move in, so it became like, even though we moved in early, there was still like long lines. You had to pay like $20 more, I think, to do that, but there was still long lines. There were still like just all sorts of stuff. Try and like condense your packing as much as possible and do as much in one trip as you possibly can. And if there are things that you can take up that don't require an elevator, maybe use the stairs too. We lived on the 4th floor of our dorm, Yeah, 5th floor.
Yeah, it was 5th floor.
We lived on the 5th floor of our dorm, and I remember moving day, like, the line was so long, but I was just carrying a TV up, so I just carried the TV up 5 flights of stairs and was like, okay, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I'd also say move everything in first before you like start setting stuff up. If you have like a lot of people, then I guess some people can start setting stuff up, but like just get everything in your dorm so you don't have to worry about like moving in and out for the next 3 hours.
We also, obviously, we're twins, so we like only had one family to worry about. I would suggest if you are moving in with a roommate or multiple roommates that you maybe coordinate like different times that you're going to all
or like
move in.
don't move in on the same day.
Yeah.
Like in general, that would just be like way too much.
Because like that would be so many people, and it would just probably run much smoother to get like one family in and out, and then have the next group of people move in. Honestly, move-in day is gonna be busy no matter what you do, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. But those are our tips.
Someone had a question for us. He said, how does it feel to be graduating this year? I feel like I am not even like comprehending that we're actually graduating this year. I feel like I'm just like, oh, 3rd year, whatever.
I feel like
I don't think it'll hit me until next semester.
I agree. I feel like I've been thinking like, wow, I know so many other YouTubers, for example, that are going into their senior year of undergrad, and I'm kind of like, that's literally me right now. And I don't feel like it's me, but it is. And that has to do with like, I kind of feel like I'm a junior because it's only in my 3rd year, but at the same time, like I will be graduating in May. So I'm trying to be like, it's senior year, like try and make it feel like senior year and focus on like, I don't know, doing everything I want to do when I'm in college. So it's weird. I don't really feel like we're graduating, but at the same time, I'm aware it's happening.
Someone said, do you ever wish you went to different universities? So I don't know if they're saying us.
I feel like it sounds like from each other.
I could see maybe in like, I would say in some sense like you and I are just so comfortable with each other, like we haven't had to like force ourselves to like make a ton of new friends, and so in that sense I guess like it would be nice, but then at the same time like I'm not like, oh, I really wish that Megan wasn't here.
Yeah, I feel like we probably could in theory have done that and managed, but at the same time like I think it would have been hard for us because like that's how close we are, so it would have been weird to, especially like if we like went to schools that are like kind of far away, and like it's not like we're studying different things, so it's just hard for me to imagine like, oh, like you'd go here because of whatever, but if we were studying different things it would definitely make more sense. But I don't wish that we would have gone to different schools, but I could see where it could have helped us in different aspects, but I also think that living together and going to the same school has been fun too.
What other sports do you guys watch at the University of Iowa? So, sports that we like to watch, football is number 1. Not gonna lie, I don't watch too much basketball. If like there is a game on and I'm just like, okay, whatever. I haven't gone to a game. I'll just like turn on TV and, you know, see what's going on.
The only sports we've actually like physically gone to watch is football and gymnastics.
Yeah, and we like both men's and women's gymnastics.
Both of them are fun. Otherwise, basketball we'll watch. We're gonna try and get to a game, but like games are always on like Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I honestly just like
by the time I have class.
Yeah.
So yeah.
By the time I realized there's a game, it was usually like, oh, the game is on right now,
yeah.
like it's starting, and then we never bought season tickets just because we don't care that much. So then you have to like think in advance to like get a ticket, all that stuff. So we're gonna try and go to one this year at least because again, it's our last year of undergrad, so we figured we should go.
How many classes do you usually take a year? So I'm pretty sure colleges are usually either semester or quarter system. I'm not even going to get into the quarter system because I don't understand how it works. I think that's mostly a California thing. Most of the schools that I know of use a semester-based system, and that's what Iowa uses. So basically that means that you have, like the first half of the year, you have one schedule, and then the second half of the year you have a different schedule. The amount of classes you take depends on how many credits you're taking, so usually we aim for like 4 classes.
I think 4 classes is the most common.
I think that there was one semester I took 3 because I dropped a class. Well, actually it was technically 4 because I picked up like self-defense, but that doesn't really count.
I think you can usually bank on 4 classes, but the kind of difference with that is like you pay more attention to the semester hours than the actual like number of classes, but it does usually end up being 4 classes. But for example, our first semester freshman year, I think we were taking like, didn't we just take 3 classes? Because
we had 6 at Iowa.
I'm trying
trying to make sure.
I know most schools, because like to graduate you need to focus on semester hours and not the number of classes you're taking. So for me and Ciera it usually ends up being 4, and for a lot of people it probably ends up being 4. But because we have science classes, a lot of our semester hours for like individual classes start getting like higher. So I've had like 4 semester hour classes a lot, and I've had a couple of 5 semester hour classes. So if your
average is usually 3,
like you want to try and get 15 semester hours a semester in order to graduate on time usually. And so that means that people that have a lot of classes with like 3 semester hours are going to have to take like 5 classes maybe instead to average out 15 semester hours.
Or you can like stack up classes during the summer.
Yeah,
whatever.
So that's just kind of like something to get like to think about.
Alright, someone asked us, what are you most worried about in this next year? Any particularly tough classes? So, Megan and I are actually really excited for this upcoming semester. I think it has the potential to be easier than last semester.
I do too.
We are getting 2 days off, no class Tuesday or Thursday, which is so exciting.
If you ever would have asked if I thought that was possible, I would have said no. There's no way it's possible, but
we're taking 3 in-person classes and then 1 online class. Megan and I have the same schedule. Not really like, it wasn't completely on purpose, but it wasn't like not on purpose.
Yeah.
I was planning on having a different schedule, but then like one of the classes I was signing up for, I couldn't even sign up for. It's a long story, but we have the same schedule now. What was the question? Oh yeah, any particularly hard classes? I would say this coming semester, the only class I'm kind of worried about is endocrinology. Mostly just because I'm like so confident that the other classes will be fine. I think like if there's any hard class, it'll be that one. But I'm also kind of pumped because I feel like I enjoyed that unit for like human physiology.
Here's what I'm thinking. Here's why I think it's going to be easier, because let me kind of give you guys a rundown. Last semester for us was like hard but doable. And so this semester, just to like kind of relate it to that, so last semester we took microbiology for our biology course. This semester we're doing endocrinology. I feel like endocrinology should be easier. And I've had the professor before. I liked him. So I'm hoping it's easier. We're doing exercise physiology this semester, where last semester we did human physiology. That class, I'm pretty sure, is much harder than exercise physiology. We'll find out, but I've heard positive things about exercise physiology. And there's no lab with that class, so it should be easier. Physics 2 is a class we're taking this semester. We took Physics 1 last semester, and I'm kind of expecting it to be like same level of difficulty. And then our last class is an online psych class. That'll be interesting just because you sometimes never know how an online class is going to work, but I liked psychology when I took it freshman year, and I usually, like, I've done multiple online classes at this point, and I can usually manage them pretty well. And again, it makes it so I don't have to be in class as much. So I'm hoping if I stay on top of things, it'll all work out.
And then spring semester, we kind of have like a rough estimate of what classes we'll be taking. I think that'll be a really nice semester too. We're finishing up with like 2 more human physiology classes that we have to do.
Like gen ed
and then stats. The next question someone had is, what's one bad habit you hope to break this year?
Let's talk about a bad habit we did break, hopefully. At the end of the school year, like right at the beginning of summer, well, me and Ciera have been biting our nails like our entire lives. Like,
that's school related, but
yeah, but it's a bad habit. We'll just go on after this. But we have stopped biting our nails. I don't know if you can tell how long they are, but they're past my fingertips, and that's never happened in my entire life. So it's been like a solid 2 months that I haven't bit my nails. So I feel,
and Megan especially, I've had phases where I've gone like, oh, I'm not biting my nails, and then like I'll start biting them. I've had that like at least 3 times, I think.
This is the most successful I've ever been. So hoping to keep it up. As far as school habits,
I honestly would say mine's not really like a school, but it's like related to being back at school. Like, I know I'm a good student, like I can like study whatever. I don't need to like set goals in that sense. But I'm just not a very social person. I don't put myself outside of my comfort zone. So I'm gonna try and do that more this year, whatever that means.
I pretty much have the same goal as Ciera.
The sun wasn't so bright.
I just think it's like really easy to want to stay in, and like we're used to doing that, so it's going to be more challenging just to be like, no, like let's actually go do something and just not being lazy. So
alright, we got a high school question. Someone said, what was your favorite year of high school and what was the hardest year? Favorite year, I'd say senior year, because shortened days, and then my classes, like I was like challenging myself to where like, oh, I was like getting, you know, college credit in some classes.
Yeah.
But also it was very doable.
I will preface this by saying like, not that I did not hate high school. I enjoyed high school, but I wasn't like super involved and into it. So like senior year, I was just like really thriving with like the half days and like just knowing it was like my last year, you know. I was just like more sights set on going to college the next year and being excited for that. But the half days are also really nice if your school allows you to do that. And in addition to that, like we were kind of doing like more school to work related things, which was fun, and like it was less classwork, so that's why I liked it more. I've heard people say the hardest year of school is junior year, but to be honest, I don't feel like I specifically remember that year being more difficult or not.
I think that what a lot of people, because I agree with that, I don't think there was like one year that was especially hard. I think that the reason most people do that is because that's when they stack a lot of their AP classes, is when like they do that junior year. A lot of people like always have questions about how we are graduating a year early and didn't take any AP exams.
Oh wait, I thought you were going to say we didn't take AP classes.
No. So the reason for that is because, so we had like 31 credits or something when we got into college, which is like about equivalent to 1 year of college. And we took all dual credit enrollment courses. We took technically like 2 AP classes, right?
Yeah.
And those were still dual enrollment, so like the AP part didn't really matter. Keep in mind, we go to an in-state school, and so how dual enrollment works is this class that you're taking in high school. So like for example, we took pre-calculus, and the teacher that was teaching the class was like credited through a community college that like, okay, this class is equivalent to this community college course.
So that's why, like, the key thing there is I'm pretty sure all the teachers that were teaching classes that were dual enrollment like had to be qualified to teach that course in order to give credit for it.
Like, we're lucky that our school district is so helpful when it comes to that stuff. They like encourage a lot of their teachers to get credited for teaching dual enrollment. So since we got all those credits put in through our community college, we didn't have to take any AP exams, because that's usually for only like if you're going out of state. I think if you want to like, because like the community college transfers very well to our in-state school. If we were like going to an out-of-state school, I feel like I'm stuttering a lot. If we were going to an out-of-state school, it probably wouldn't transfer very nicely, which is when you'd want an AP transfer.
Like, to give you an idea of like the classes we took, that shows you like how we got so many courses without having to do like that much work, because like the credits that we got were pretty easy. We took pre-calc, calc 1 and calc 2 were probably like the hardest ones that we did, but like I was like pretty good at math in high school, and our teacher was like also pretty chill, so it wasn't like that hard. We also took German 4 was a class that we got credit for. We got 8 credits for that. So some of these classes too, it's like they give you a ridiculous amount of credits. We took entrepreneurship, that gave us some credit, which was a hybrid class, which was a pretty easy class.
And then our school to work style class, I swear they gave us like 10.
Yeah, they gave us a lot. So I'd recommend going for fewer AP classes, but like large numbers. Like I'm pretty sure APUSH, which is AP US History, I heard it's the worst class you could possibly take, but it gives you like 8 college credits, so maybe just like weigh that out. Otherwise, if you like would rather take more with fewer credits, like just kind of figure out what works for you.
But yeah, every time people ask like AP advice, I'm like, I don't know, I didn't do any of that, so I'm just lucky that ours was set up the way it was, because I don't want to take any AP exams either. Alright, next question is, why did you guys decide not to do a sorority? This is a really great question, because I think a lot of girls going into their freshman year are like, do I rush? Do I not rush? I think part of it depends on the type of school that you go to and how prevalent Greek life is. I would say if it's more prevalent, then I'd be more tempted to join, because that's like such a huge part and you don't want to be like left out of that aspect.
Like for some,
a really huge thing.
For some schools, like Greek life is like, that's the culture like at the school. Like for Iowa State versus Iowa, there's Greek life at both, but it's so much more of a big deal at Iowa State, and they do so much more like involved with it. Whereas at Iowa, I'm pretty sure that technically Greek life isn't even affiliated directly with the school. I don't even fully know what that means. That's just what I've heard. Like it is affiliated, but it's not. I don't fully understand. But it's just like there's not, like things aren't done where like the Greek life is involved. I don't know what I'm saying.
Basically, Meg and I didn't join a sorority because at Iowa it's not really a big deal if you do or don't, and we just didn't really see ourselves being like the type of people that would fit in a sorority. Not to say if I did go through the process of rushing, I wouldn't like, you know, find my place and like absolutely love it. You know, I'm not saying that. I probably would have liked it if I did it, but also financially we would have to pay for it if we were going to do it, and it's a very expensive thing to do.
If I were to do it again, I think that I would maybe think a lot more about at least going through the rush process, because I didn't even really know that was an option freshman year.
I didn't know that either.
You can kind of pay like the $300 cover fee or whatever it is, I don't know what it's called, to like just go through the rush process, and then you can still drop if you don't want to join a sorority. Obviously, maybe you do want to join a sorority and like you're like, okay, I actually do want to do it, but otherwise, I've still heard from other people that it's like a good way to make friends that way, even if you don't see yourself as like a sorority person.
Okay, next question. Someone asked, how many hours do you spend studying? I would say this, first of all, depends on what point in the semester it is and like how close it is to exams, because how our semester usually goes is it's like we like kind of like ride for like 3 weeks until it's exam time, and then like all of our classes have exams, and then it's like, okay, chill 3 weeks, chill.
Yeah.
But all of our exams are pretty like much at the same time, so that it's like we have an exam period.
I would say, here's what I'll say instead of kind of like throwing out a random number, because it really does vary so much. Our school throws out a number of, like, you should be doing this much extra work outside of class, which is like, I think for each semester hour your class is, they say to do 3 hours of work outside of class studying, or is it 2 hours?
It's like 2 or 3.
Like 2 or 3 hours per semester hour outside of class, like for the whole week, which seems like a lot, and I wouldn't necessarily follow that for every class, but that is kind of like what they say to do as a guide. But yeah, I don't really think it's helpful to just like throw out a number for you. I would just say like expect to be studying a lot, and expect to be studying way more than you did in high school. And if you don't feel like you can,
okay. I'd also say, like, I don't want to sound like you can never have any free time and like have any fun in college, but like Megan and I, throughout like the entire, work week, I guess, like from when we left in like the morning to go to class to 7 o'clock at night, or whenever we went back to our apartment, like we spent the day studying pretty much, or like working on something for classes. Obviously there's like small
like,
breaks,
go to lunch,
the day,
go work out, or
but there's very rarely, I don't know if there's ever been a day where we've just been like, go to class, do nothing else.
Yeah, and some people function like that. I'm just like saying that's not how I function. And if you kind of like say, oh, from this time to this time, like I'm in work mode or school mode or whatever.
Granted, I'm trying to get a little bit better about like, enjoy myself a little bit more, because I feel like I'd always be like in this mindset where it's like I can't do anything today, like if I want to go to the mall. Hey, I feel like an official YouTuber actually popping in while I'm editing. We did not get the chance to finish the video while we were in the car because our camera ended up dying, so that was actually filmed like a week and a half ago. Sorry for getting this up so much later. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we hopefully answered all of your questions that you were just dying to know, and I hope that we gave answers that were helpful if you did ask it or have a similar question. If you guys are getting ready to go back to school and you're heading off to college, or even if you're in high school, I really wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we will see you guys on this channel soon.